About today is about the willpower, the facts that we are little gods, the facts that prove that we are little gods, and also how I was shown this entire universe manifests from nothing, including intelligence itself, the force that we call God, how that intelligence got its existence into the universe. And it was something I never read from a book or heard from the lips of another man or woman. I want you to reason with the facts to see whether or not they make sense to you as well. Now, the first facts I would like to explain is the facts that prove that each and every human being on this planet is a little God. And they really have supernatural ability. The first fact that God gave me in meditation is this. All creations created by every living thing, all creations that exist in the same image and likeness has the same basic functionings. Like if we get all the apple trees, all the orange trees, all the grapefruit trees, you'll never see the apple trees producing grapefruits and oranges. You'll see every tree producing after their own kind. If you get two cars, that's the same model and make, you can switch everything off each frame, get in it, crank it up, and drive it away because they are the same image and likeness. They have the same basic functioning. So if God said to us right now that he'll give us $1 billion if we can show him anything that is the same image and likeness but does not have the same basic functionings, nobody can get one dime. Do you agree with that? Now, we are created in the image and likeness of God. That means without a shadow of a doubt that we have the same basic functionings as God Almighty. And this is a fact that was given to me in meditation. I didn't read from a book, I hear from the lips of another man or woman. But it was just something that I received in meditation that was a revelation word. So it showed that we do have the same basic functionings as God Almighty. Now, the 5 supernatural functionings that we have is the willpower. That's what causes all things to manifest. We have vibrations. They are what actually is created when we think, and vibes. Purpose in this universe is to attract things to us that coincide with our thought patterns or cause things to respond to us that coincide with our thought patterns. Keep in mind that everything in the universe is an entity with a purpose that it serves. It's one individual form. So vibrations are separate and got their own purpose too. Each grain of sand is separate, got its own purpose. Each tree, each human being, each planet, no matter what it is. If God said he'd give us $1 billion, if we could show him anything in the universe that isn't an entity with a purpose that it serves, nobody in here could get one dime. Nobody in the universe could get one dime. No living thing in the universe. So this proves without a shadow of a doubt that vibrations, they are individual forms and they have a purpose that they serve. So as we think, we create a vibration. And this vibration is like a magnet. It draws everything to us that coincide with our thought pattern. So now we have willpower, vibrations, intelligence. Intelligence is the only entity in the universe that causes all things, in other words, cause change in all things. It's the only thing in the universe that can actually create an idea. So if we really told everybody to show us something other than intelligence that is able to create an idea, it'll be impossible to do. So we got the willpower, vibrations, intelligence, concentrating our focusing, keeping our mind on one thing and blocking everything else out. That's a separate action and it has its own purpose too. Now, focusing or concentrating, I won't get into it tonight, but that's the only thing in the universe that has the ability to make things manifest faster. That's the only thing. And then you have the law of repetition. The law of repetition is what makes everything in creation repeat the same basic patterns over and over again. But tonight, I'll speak about the willpower, showing that it's the only force that we have, God and any other living thing in the universe has, that can actually cause things to manifest. It causes all things to materialize. And here's the facts that God gave me in meditation. 1, everything is an entity with a purpose that it serves. If God told everybody he'd give them $1 billion, if they could show him anything that isn't an entity with a purpose that it serves, nobody could get one dime. So this means the action of us willing for something to be is a separate action and has its own purpose too. Now, the second fact is this. The action of willing for a creation to exist must always exist before the creation itself every time. I had never thought of that until 1977 in meditation when God brought that to my attention. I said, you know, that's real. Before God created the sun, the moon, and the stars, he willed for them to be first. They just didn't pop up on their own. Before a man or woman made all the things he or she has made, they willed for them to be first. So if we was told we'll be given $1 trillion, if we could show anything created by any living thing that got here without that living thing willing it to be here first, nobody could get one dime. Told the truth, right? Now, let's add it up. If everything is an entity with a purpose that it serves, this means without a shadow of a doubt that the action of willing for something to be is a separate action and has its own purpose like everything else, even though you can't see it with the human eye. And if before anything is created, the action of willing must be used first every time, this proves without a shadow of a doubt that the action of willing is a separate action, has its own purpose, and its only purpose is to cause all things to manifest or materialize. Thank you. So this is why we have the saying where, yes, this is why we have the saying where there's a will, there's a way. Now the third and final fact that goes along with this scenario is this. Everything created by God exists in a variety. If you find one human being, you'll find a variety. One grain of sand, you'll find a variety. One tree of a certain type, you'll find a variety. One planet with life on it, you'll find a variety. So if God said to everybody on the planet that he'd give us $1 trillion, if we could show him anything created by him that doesn't exist in a variety, nobody could get one dime. So this means the action of willing exists in a variety like everything else. Everybody has a will of their own. So when each and every individual on the planet or every living thing in the universe will for something good or bad to be, or will for their dreams or desires to be, according to these physics, they're using the only force in the universe that causes things to manifest. And this is why we have the saying, when there's a will, there's a way. And this is why we can actually keep willing for our dreams and desires to be, and don't let anyone stop us from willing for it to be, and automatically cause it to manifest according to those facts. It's true so far. Everything is accurate so far. So this is something that I was shown. Now, what I would like to do is give you the viewpoint that God gave me when I asked him, how did you get your existence into the universe? And to my surprise, the facts were so profound until I couldn't deny it. I said, why are people being taught this? You know, when I asked the Muslim brother in the meeting, why aren't more attention or focus is put on universal physics? You know, why aren't they teaching in school universal principles? And it took him about 30 seconds to respond. And he said, brother, he said, if they don't know, they can't teach you. So God had answered every question in my mind in meditation. I had one question left. I said, Father, I know you created the heavens and the earth, but how did you get your existence in the universe? And the answer that I received in meditation is what I'll share with you tonight. Okay, The first thing that must be understood is that all creations that is made up of a variety of things must begin from one of those things first. There was one man and woman before there was a variety, one car, one computer, one light bulb, one idea, one action. If God told everybody he'd give them $1 billion right now, if they could show him anything that exists in a variety that didn't begin from one of them first, nobody could get one dime. Now, this universe is made up of a variety of things. There had to be one entity before a variety of them got their existence. Does it make sense? Now, here's the key to finding out how this universe manifested from nothing, including intelligence itself. The second fact is this. Everything has an opposite. There's a right, wrong, positive, negative, up, down, left, right, space, matter, hot, cold, wet, dry, motion, stillness, male, female, awareness, unawareness. If God told everybody he'd give them $1 billion right now, if they could show him anything in creation that doesn't have an opposite, nobody could get one dime. Agreeable? Agreeable? Okay. Now, this universe is made of 7 different things. When you break it down to the lowest term, the universe is made of 7 different things. One is nothing, which is the foundation of all creation. 2 is space. Space is nothing but room for matter to occupy. 3 is intelligence. Intelligence is the only entity in the universe that has the ability to create an idea or will or cause a change in all things. 4, 5, 6, and 7 is earth, air, fire, and water. Earth is the different solids and everything. Air is the different gases and everything. Fire is a different amount of heat within everything. Water is the different moistures or liquids in everything. When we break the universe down, it's broken down to 7 different entities. Now, notice everything that is made up of a variety of things must begin from one of them first. So what God showed me, remember everything is an entity with a purpose that it serves. What God showed me is the only thing that can exist without something willing it to exist is nothing, which is the foundation of all creation. If we was told we'll be given $1 billion and we could show any creation created by any living thing that existed before nothing, nobody could get one dime. And if God said, show me something that is not an entity with a purpose that it serves, I'll give you $1 trillion. Nobody could get one dime. Total agreement, right? Right. Now, remember everything starts from 1. So nothing had to repel its opposite. I'm going to show you why. See, the opposite equals 2. But everything starts from 1. You see the picture? The opposite equals 2, but everything starts from 1. So this means the original form has the ability to repel or create its own opposite automatically. The only thing that can be responsible for actually creating anything is the first entity to exist in the universe. Scientists say this universe is constantly expanding every second, but they can't figure out why. I'm quite sure many of us in here is aware of that fact, that they're saying the universe is getting larger and larger. But the reason why is this: because nothing is giving off its opposite, which is space. Remember, everything starts from 1. So nothing is giving off its opposite, which is space. That's why the universe is constantly expanding. Now to show that space had to exist second, without space or room, intelligence, earth, air, fire, and water wouldn't have a place to exist. Matter needs space in order to have a place to be. So before intelligence, earth, air, fire, and water got its existence, there had to be some room. 100%. So I never read this from a book or heard it from the lips of another man or woman, but I got it in meditation when I asked God to show me how he got his existence. So when nothing gave off its opposite, which was space, for every action there's a reaction to that action. Space had to repel its opposite, which is matter. Now, scientists say they can see new forms of matter being formed into this universe at the rate of 7 million tons a second. But they can't figure out why. But what the Creator showed me in meditation, the only reason why is because after nothing give off its opposite, which is space, space has to give off its opposite, which is matter. Now, they say they can see this matter take shape and form in their hoveroscope, just appear out of nowhere. And they say at 7 million tons a second, they can see this matter appear in their hoveroscopes, but they can't understand why. But the reason why, like I said, because space is giving off its opposite, which is matter. Now, this matter couldn't have any motion nor creative ability at first. The reason why is simply because all motion and all creation must start from a still point. Stillness and motion is the opposite of each other. One always has to exist before the other. Now if God said, show me something that has motion that didn't begin from a still point first, I'll give you $1 trillion. Nobody could get one dime. Told the truth, right? Stillness always exists before motion. Stillness and motion is the opposite of each other. Everything starts from one. No two forms can be created in the same space at the same time, have the same size, weight, or shape. No two forms. So out of motion and stillness, one had to exist before the other. So when nothing gave off its opposite, which was space, space had to give off its opposite, which was matter. This matter couldn't have any motion nor creative ability at first, simply because all motion and all creation must start from a still point. Now, this matter itself had to repel its opposite within itself. The opposite of matter with no motion and no creative ability, according to the thing this universe is made up of, is matter with all motion and all creative ability. Make sense? So this matter that space gave off manifested into matter with all motion and all creative ability. The only entity in the universe that has all motion and all creative ability is intelligence. Total agreeable? Yes. Now you know it takes intelligence to create an idea. And all creations created by every living thing has to exist in the form of an idea first. That's God. That's the only thing in the universe that can create an idea. And that's how he showed me he got his existence when I asked with sincerity to show. I said, I know you created the heavens and the earth, but how did you get your existence? And this is what he gave me. So now this intelligence had to repel its opposite. The opposite of matter with all motion and all creative ability, according to the thing this universe is made up of, is matter with no motion and creative ability of its own. Earth, air, fire, and water, they are ideas.